Lower back stuff.
We're streaming. Go ahead.
All right, or we could talk about it later. That's fine.
I don't care.
Yeah. Do you ever do cobra stretches,
Nope.
or do you know what that is?
No, but I figure I could just check it out. I mean,
It's very easy.
okay.
You lie on
Tell
the
me.
floor, face
Uh-huh.
down.
Uh-huh.
You push up
Mm-hmm.
so that you're arching your lower back.
Mm-hmm.
You could just hang out on your elbows. Just do that like a few times, not for very long, regularly. And then the butt lift bridge thing,
Mm-hmm.
you lay on your back and you bring your knees up, and then
Uh-huh.
you lift your butt up so that like your butt is off the ground, and it's
Okay.
like the back of your shoulder blades on the ground and your feet
Uh-huh.
on the ground,
Yeah, yeah.
and that's more of like a core thing.
Mm-hmm.
Practice that a little bit and the cobra stretch thing,
Mm-hmm.
and seriously, don't even spend very long at all, but do it a little bit regularly.
Okay. I
it
hate
does it does good
stretching.
for me. Like, I'm not saying that my fixes will be your fixes,
Sure. Uh,
and obviously if those things hurt you, don't do
do it
that.
more and
Do it
harder.
more. Yeah, harder. Stretch harder. Chase the pain.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Noted. In my back pocket.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Let's clap it in. Oh, whoop.
What's up, everybody? It's On Fire Tonight with Josh and Tressa. We are here today to talk about Misfits of Science, Season 1, Episode 8, Fumble on the One. You've had almost 40 years to watch this, so we're going to go ahead and spoil it.
So fuck off if you don't like spoilers.
All right. I love this episode. We got two in a row of fucking good ones.
I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. That makes
You're
me
not into
happy.
it?
You know what? I got a thing going on. It was great. It was fun.
I understand you were a little bit distracted during today's
Yeah, a little bit.
screening.
Yeah, but no, you know what? I love references the TV show. It's my favorite show, is references the TV show. So we get James Bond, we get Josh.
We get James Bond. We got the $6 million Man.
That's
We've got Mission Impossible, and they even use the Mission Impossible theme.
Yeah,
and they name check Peter Graves.
Oh, I didn't remember that.
And there's just a soup song of Dragnet at the very beginning.
Boy.
Because like the Dragnet VO, I don't know if because like none of those other ones really use a VO like that.
Yeah,
so they set the stage with that, and then one of the most fascinating things for me throughout this episode, like they really play with genre way better in this one than in any of the other ones. Like they really were like, okay, hard-boiled detective stuff, like we can do this, like it's gonna be
how hard can it be?
Well, not only did they do it, they fucking super did it, because they like the voiceover plays a role in this that it really doesn't in Dragnet or shows like that, where it basically functions the way it does on Arrested Development. Did you watch Arrested Development?
Yeah. Yeah. It totally did. You're right.
Like, I'm not aware of shows before Arrested Development where the voiceover is like punctuating things with like the exact opposite of what we see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How are things? Things are good. Things were not good.
Yeah, it was a great voiceover. Because it wasn't just, it was a narration of the episode, which influenced everything you thought about what was going on. And chef's kiss.
Total chef's kiss.
Like,
total chef's kiss. And like the idea that this like super CIA operative guy who is also a bionic man and was a football star, like just falls to pieces and loses his self-confidence at the sight of his like dismembered robotic hand.
It starts off with a guy getting his hand cut off with a chainsaw. What? That's crazy.
Also, I think that that might be a shout out to Scarface, but maybe that's just because like whenever I see a chainsaw in anything, and this is the 80s, like just shortly after that movie came out,
yeah,
it feels like, oh, we've got maybe I'm reaching on this one. I don't know.
I don't know.
You don't have strong feelings.
I don't really don't. But this
also we have a great guest star in this episode.
Who is that?
Sid Haig.
Who is
Spider Baby.
Holy fuck.
Yeah. He's the mustache guy. He's in everything. He literally, like, to list any of his many roles is to leave out 100 other roles. Like newer fans would know him from like his Rob Zombie movies. But like he started acting in 1960.
Right. I haven't seen Spider Baby in maybe 25 years, but still, without even seeing that in so long, holy shit. What?
Yeah.
Oh my God. This episode reminded me of a Zucker Brothers movie. It was wacky. Seemed like it was supposed to be more serious than it actually was. It was fun. Come on.
Totally. Oh, also, like, maybe I'm just like slow on the uptake, but the idea that Johnny B gets like too full of juice and has to remove himself, which is either pissing or jacking off.
Oh, this is new information. He has to relieve himself of electricity.
I feel like it was never presented in quite this way, like so on the nose, but like, has it just always been there and I didn't realize it?
I don't think they have ever once addressed anything close to that.
Because he goes around the corner and then there's an explosion and then he comes back and he's like buttoning his jacket, like, and the voiceover is he has relieved himself.
Yes. And before that, he keeps saying, oh God, I really got to let some of this go. I really
totally.
And they're like, you should have done that before he left the house.
Basically.
Dude, don't be gross.
But I mean, I think that they meant for it to be like he has to go take a number one. I don't think that they meant for it to be jacking off.
But it totally came off like that.
I mean,
a little bit.
If he's got to shoot really bad, I can't hold it in any longer. Look, man, just go around the corner like anyone would. And
we all do it. He's getting blue electricity because I can't think of a place where you store that. Sorry. Oh, why did my thing just do that?
Are you okay?
Yeah, no, my computer did something weird. Yeah, because the mustache guy was like, look for the yellow turban guy or whatever, and they're like, no problem. There should be like what, one guy in a yellow turban, and then they get there and there's a ton of guys in yellow turbans, and Johnny B was like, he's like, you go talk to the towel head.
What?
Yeah.
Casual. Wow. That's just like prime time on NBC in the 80s.
That was a full-on punchline. And you know what? No one else should have delivered it because he's gross and I don't like him.
Yeah, he sucks, but they all suck.
They all do.
Except for Gloria and Stetmeyer. And I've got nothing against Elle.
No, Elle's fine. He's just fine. Although I think his powers are bullshit, and that whole 14 minutes thing is just goes out the window every single episode.
Yeah, I like his powers are like
Yeah.
His powers are nothing but a sight gag.
Yes.
The whole point is just to have like this really tall guy be short, and they're gonna like, I mean, it's like, here's the thing, it could be very fun to shrink him down and have him next to something very small that looks gigantic next to him. And we play with that idea because that's like, it's like, Fantastic Voyage and
Right. Super fun. We
like
got to see him
Ant-Man,
hang
stuff
out
like
with a
that.
mouse with Boy Charles. That was great. But
Right.
just putting him on a serving dish in this one,
almost
and like
he should get almost crushed by a dreidel.
every episode.
Okay. Also, I love that Billy continues his losing streak in every single way.
Oh, which also, Josh, how much is their rent and why can't they pay it?
And were they always roommates?
No, this is new information as well.
I think that their their total rent is $1,000 on this palatial mansion on the beach.
Is it that much? Because he's like, hey, can I borrow a couple $100 at the
I
end?
don't know. You know what? I'm not really sure. Like whatever their rent is, fuck those guys.
Yeah, 100%. Dude, there's no way you should. Your secretary, your assistant, your whoever.
Nance.
Nance. She has
her
no
name
problem
is
paying her
Nance or
rent.
Miss Nance sometimes.
Yeah. I don't know if it's her first or last name.
It might be Nance.
Oh, I hope so.
Maybe.
But how are you so irresponsible with your rent money when you are a scientist in a lab and you have an assistant? You make a ton of money, and I know you do. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
I'm pretty sure that like scientists and mathematicians that know the odds are always against them still buy Powerball tickets.
Oh, I have no problem with that.
They might not buy 70 of them.
Yeah, I have a problem with that.
I love that Nance wins immediately, and at the end of the episode, she's seen in a fur coat with a cigarette holder. She's not just loaded, but she's ridiculous.
She's bad with money is what it is.
No, she's fine. She never has a problem. She wins everything. She wins life.
Right, which is why she can be bad with money, because she wins at life.
Also, the guys that steal the like nuclear code briefcase football thing.
Yeah.
Who are they? Why did they steal it? They're dead before we even meet them. And Gloria's like, oh my God, they stuck them in there. This is obviously like they're trying to threaten us. And Billy's like, calm down, Gloria. Literally 2 dead bodies have just fallen out of the closet of their hotel room.
Calm down.
And it's like,
small
don't
woman.
get hysterical, woman.
It's just dead bodies. When have you not been able to handle corpses?
He literally says, don't get carried away.
Oh, Billy, you are so strong. You're carrying all of us because you're the best of us. Somehow. I don't know how that makes sense.
Wonderfully, they're all in tuxedos, except for Gloria, who's got like a bridesmaid dress or whatever that
She's
is.
got like a prom dress on.
It's not even a prom dress. It's like it's sub prom. It's not a prom or quinceanera dress.
Basement
like,
prom.
This is like somebody else picked out your dress for you.
Yeah,
right?
Mom got it. It's nice. It's frilly. It's pink. It's fine. It'll be great.
She and Johnny B both have sneakers, although for some reason Billy decides to give her shit about it.
Because she's a girl. Girls aren't supposed to wear sneakers.
Fuck off. Oh, let me just check in my purse. Oh, fuck off. Billy's also got like a Colonel Sanders tie, which is nice.
That was great. Like, of course he does.
He looks great.
Of course, he's wearing a tux with a Colonel Sanders tie.
Everything in this episode is not just about it's important to get the nuclear briefcase back, but also it's really important that we completely lie to Brick so we can build up his confidence again. This is something we're all invested in for some reason.
Yeah, Brick is a grown-ass man. He can like regulate his feelings on his own. We don't need to pretend like he's a child. Come on.
Yeah, they really treat him like a baby. And he he barely gets to baby level.
No. And I was like, at first I thought I was missing something, like they weren't supposed to let him know that they have powers, because every time they did something, they were like, good job, Rick. Yeah, you did that. Great. That you totally saved the day on that one. I was like, what the? He's a fucking grown ass man, you guys. Even
Right.
if
And then it turns out that like all these people that they think are spies trying to kill them are actually all US operatives that Brick knows and works with, but never acknowledges because he takes all the credit and they have to like constantly clean up after him.
it's time to fire Brick, he is not able to handle that job mentally, emotionally, or physically.
He was, I guess, Billy's college roommate, as well as they were on the football team together.
That's the first I heard about it. But yeah,
And
apparently he's holding this grudge for, I don't know, 20, 30 years. And this is the first we heard of it, but that's fine. Go ahead. Go ahead, Hayes. Go for it. Tell us about your stupid chip on your shoulder.
well, except that like Billy built the bionics that like saved Brick and allowed him to be like a Superman of some kind.
Yeah. I would think that would be a completely different area of science and biology and computer tech than whatever the fuck Billy Hayes does in his lab. Like
I
he's
don't know
just
why
like,
you would think that. Why would you think that?
yeah, you're right.
It's just like he's a general mad scientist.
Mm-hmm. Who can make realistic looking animatronics in a hand. Uh-huh. That makes sense.
Oh, I don't know if you noticed, whenever there were driving scenes, even though they were supposed to be in Nice,
Uh-huh.
the wheel was on the American side. I think that they were actually driving on opposite sides of the road the way they would have in Nice,
but with American
but they're clearly
cars.
just in Southern California with like
Yeah.
American vehicles.
I mean, of course. They had
Oh,
to
and
put
they
up.
drive through the tunnel from Who Framed Roger Rabbit,
Oh, that's exciting.
right?
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
No.
Oh,
That doesn't mean it's not exciting.
there's a helicopter. I guess like TV shows in the 80s had to have a helicopter.
Helicopters are exciting.
Helicopters are exciting.
Hmm.
I guess, I mean, this is like 10 years after the fall of Saigon, and you've got a lot of like Vietnam vets who like,
We need to give them jobs.
yeah, their skill set is not being put to good use otherwise. So we've got to like put them on TV like every single night.
Yes. And also super dope. Except for, oh, never mind. And then it's loud. When you see one in real life, you're like, hey, that's just like a Magnum PI. It's awesome.
Totally.
Helicopters are dope.
Yes. So I'm like really turning around on this show. Like it's winning me back, and not for the reasons that I thought it would.
What were the reasons you thought it would?
I thought that because like I barely remembered this, like it just had sort of snapshot images of like cool superhero type aspects of this, and the superhero aspects of this barely come into play. You know,
Yeah.
they're thrown in because they
Yeah.
have to be thrown in,
Right.
but they're not the point at all. The point is to do parodies of existing stuff. And
Yes,
they're getting
you
better
nailed
at it. They're actually
They
getting
are.
really good at it.
I'm not mad about it. I
No,
love
I'm
it.
fucking psyched about it.
You got a ragtag bunch of misfits and they're solving crimes and doing spy shit and nuclear power plant shit. Love it. I can't get enough of it. I love it.
I can't believe how much that I didn't even realize made it into my like own student film work. I can't believe how much of it. Like,
Was there more in this one?
Yes. The theme to the $6 Million Man.
I mean, come on.
Is a thing that I used also.
You can't blame that on this episode. That was
probably
like
not
in your heart.
Except that like a guy that shoots lightning bolts and has this weird fast running power.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's also kind of bionic.
I didn't even remember that he had the fast running power.
He barely does. We see it maybe once every 2 episodes.
Whenever necessary.
Mhm.
He has the powers that are necessary and relevant.
Mhm. To a guy that really loves 50s and 60s music and is full of electricity.
Also, Gloria, like the only
Mhm.
person with like any sort of actual personal ethics.
Yeah. And
Like
she's a
she
teen
does not
girl.
want to cheat at roulette using her powers because that would be
Which,
wrong.
come on. Who are you stealing from? Gun runners? Rich assholes? Who gives a shit? Just steal the money. Who cares? They don't know.
Yeah, this definitely strikes me as a victimless crime.
Thank you.
But
Hello.
like again,
I appreciate you.
Gloria has the ethical center that neither you nor I have.
Maybe if I had telekinesis, I would also have that moral center, but I highly doubt it.
Well, but it's not morality because no one else in her life is telling her these things are wrong. It's ethical. She knows it from the inside.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's also picking up French much faster than anyone. There's a great
Yeah.
moment where Johnny B is spoken to in French, and then he just sort of like, s'il vous plaît.
What the fuck? Did you think you were going to get away with that, Johnny?
Yeah. Did you think that just saying things with a French accent?
Wee wee.
Oh,
But she knows that the cabbage is green, and that's all I remember that she said. She called Brick an idiot or something
yeah.
in French.
En français.
Yep, what you said.
Oh, oui, oui, oui.
Oh. Uh, okay, you know what? Brick needs to go. He needs, I know he's not going to be in any other episodes, but
We'll never see him again. And that's a
no,
shame because frankly,
no, he
like
needs to.
if he were to come back, that would mean that this awesome narration would come back.
Oh, I would love that. It's not going to happen though.
It's not going to happen. I mean, maybe it'll happen, but I wouldn't.
Mm.
I wouldn't bet the farm on it. I wouldn't bet the baccarat on it.
Good one,
also,
dude.
I'm sorry. What was the deal with the blonde woman who was throughout this episode? She's a bad guy, but what was her deal?
She was there so Hayes could be gross for a little bit, and then that's it.
But also pathetic
Uh huh.
because like the whole point is they go to this high roller casino with no money and no plan,
Yeah.
and then they're surprised when the casino has like rules about you have to have X amount of money in order to play at this table or in this
What?
whatever. And then he's so pathetic. He's literally pulling balloons out of his pocket because he has no money. And she ends up staking him and he loses anyway. The blonde assassin lady that like is with the bad guys is like, you fucking loser. Here's some money.
Yeah, her whole entire thing was making Hayes lose and pressing a really loud beeper in her purse. That's it. She's going to tell other people that stuff is going to come up. Purse beeper. Why, Josh? Why did Hayes bring his rent money to Nice?
Well, he had special rent money in one pocket and money from Oscar in a different pocket.
Yeah.
And there's like the whole like Mission Impossible tape scene. It's like, oh, there's a tape in the gift basket. That's how they always send it to me. And it doesn't self-destruct, but like he fucks it up by putting it in backwards.
Which,
who knew?
Okay. But wouldn't you leave your rent money at home? Maybe leave your rent money at home so you don't spend it, because apparently you make like minimum wage at your science job.
At your defense contractor job, at your like, you literally work for a place that builds and sells missiles.
Yeah, that's totally logical. You know what? You know what? I like him even more because I can relate to him because I can't pay my rent either. So thank you, Hayes.
You must also work for a defense contractor.
I do. I actually build everything and design it. I
Oh,
do
wow.
everything. Yeah, no.
Wow.
I like make a few $1 million a month. So
But you
the
lose it all on
fact
the ponies.
I do. I
Off
love the
track betting.
ponies. I love it. So fun. That and Bacharach. Bert.
Okay, so Hayes is terrible with money.
Mhm.
He's a dickhead.
Yeah.
Uh,
Misogynist.
he's a misogynist,
Fatphobic.
fatphobic. No Jane in this episode.
I know, because she's gross and pregnant.
Well, she's got a job and maybe she's giving birth.
Yeah, that job is to take care of that baby in her belly. She can't have a real job. She's a woman. Gross.
Oh, did you notice at the beginning of the episode when we first entered the lab, there's a woman in the background breathing fire?
Yeah. And he put some like garbage in the trash and he's like, breathe on that for me.
Oh, it wasn't just garbage. Those were the 70 lottery tickets he had
Oh,
won,
yeah.
but then Nance hit the jackpot immediately. So
Yeah.
without even checking the lottery
No,
tickets, he drops them in the trash and says, breathe on that.
because he knows the odds. There's no way. Because that's how the odds work. Every time.
Are you familiar with? So this episode reminds me of a Steve Martin sketch when he hosted SNL in the mid 80s. It must have been right around this time. The musical guest was Sting. And so Steve Martin plays James Bond in James Bond on Vacation. So he has to cover his own expenses. It's called Bullets Aren't Cheap. And Sting plays his nemesis, Gold Sting.
I don't remember this at all. Please
Oh, it's
enlighten me.
fucking great. They go to the casino where like Gold Sting is in charge and the drinks aren't complimentary. So he's like, oh, not a martini. Do you have any specials? Sir, all of the beers are the same price. All right, I'll take a Corona. Shake it, not stir. And like it ends with him like taking a big handful of complimentary pretzels. Goldsting is like, the pretzels are no longer complimentary.
Good. But look, man, get him off my hands. Do you remember his special in the 70s when he ran over a kid with a steamroller?
Ding.
Yeah, Sting. No, Steve Martin. Do you remember that?
No.
Early 80s.
What was it?
It was like a TV special, just him, I think. I mean, I could be totally wrong.
And it's not stand up?
It was all sketches.
Oh.
And boy, did that stick with me because the whole scene, the kid is like, no, and it's steamroller, so it's going really slow. And
This does sound familiar. This does sound familiar.
Well, everyone's done it since. He runs him over, and it's just like a photo of the smashed kid. Just like, it's great. It's great. And it traumatized me as a child. Yeah.
Gotta watch out for those steamrollers.
They'll get you.
Yeah, slowly.
Faster than you think.
Well, with permanent damage.
Yeah. Why does Brick get a Ferrari and they have to have the VW?
I think it's one of those things where it's like Brick has to have a Ferrari.
It was one of the we have to be nice to him things.
I think so.
I mean, I don't know why else Okay, first off, why a Ferrari and then a VW bus? Why not two middle ground things instead of one?
Well, no, okay, so like I'm not a car person,
Uh-huh.
but I understand that the language of cars is like the expensive one conveys your status and the cheap one conveys your status.
Is that how that
That's
works?
how that works.
Oh, fuck,
Yeah.
dude.
So your whole
Mhm.
your whole existence
Mhm.
is dictated by the car that you're associated with. So
You know what? That explains why
that's
everyone looks at me like that when I drive my rickshaw that I drive with the motorcycle.
uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I, it's all coming together now, Josh. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm dumb.
I know people that are car people and like they truly believe in those strictures. And as much as I like try to explain to them that those things are meaningless to me, like they can't understand it.
I can't understand them.
I can't understand them either.
It is a tool.
Yeah, it's a radio with wheels.
It is a podcast machine with wheels.
Right,
Mhm.
totally.
No, it means nothing more.
It
It gets
takes
me
you from
here
A to
and there.
B.
Uh-huh. And anything else is just a bonus because that's all it does. I have to put gas in it.
Not,
Josh.
and I will say, not every person that I know that like has a more nuanced view of cars than I do
Mhm.
is toxic about it, but some of them are.
How can you not be toxic about it when you use it as like a societal
Well,
tool to
no,
judge
no, no.
you?
I'm saying not all of the people who I know
Uh-huh.
who have greater knowledge of cars and greater appreciation for cars
Um,
necessarily view them um,
Status symbols.
as status symbols, and not just status symbols, but like an absolute declaration of worth. You know, like
Yeah.
they see them for other reasons. Like I have a real gearhead friend who's like, it's not even he's not a mechanic by trade, but he's like the best mechanic you'd ever have in your life. And he loves specifically German cars. And he tells everyone, don't be like me. I swear to God, just like get a Toyota or a Honda. Like, don't fuck around with these things. I'm obsessed with them, but like that, they're not what you actually want.
Yeah. He knows what he's doing and knows how to fix them.
Right. And like, he's also the best dude in the world. Like, he's amazing. Like,
Oh.
he likes everything that you would think a toxic bro would like, but he has none of that. Like he's a huge baseball fan and a
Mm.
huge car guy
Mm.
and the nicest human being on the planet.
That's
Anyway, this podcast
nice. Brought to you by Volkswagen,
and Audi,
Mercedes, you know, the good ones.
BMW,
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
Porsche.
Fiat.
Is that one German too?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Mm.
I was impressed that we were able to name as many that I was like, oh my God, yeah, that German.
It got to a point where I wasn't really sure anymore, so I just said Fiat.
Could be. Skoda. What is that?
I've never
Something that
heard
they
that
have
word
over
before.
there. Something they
Okay.
have in Europe.
Oh, Germania.
Germania. Um, fuck, we gotta do some more Misfits. Science, straight from my heart.
You know what I miss?
Science,
I
straight
miss
from my heart.
School's Out. Hey,
Class dismissed.
thank you. I missed the Burger Barn in this episode. Cute little outfits, free burgers for the Misfits.
Apparently, it's cool for Gloria to just take off whenever. Like she
Ew.
never has to go to school or work.
No, that's gross. That's for other people.
Is she in school?
I've never seen her or heard her say anything about school. Did she talk about school in the Angel episode? Is that
I
how she knew him?
I I think they might have met in foster care. Was that
Yeah.
right? So wait, if she's a foster kid,
Mm-hmm.
then she's not living with her parents. She
Mm-mm.
might or might not be an emancipated minor.
True. Maybe she lives with Jane and Jane's husband. What's his name?
Oh, the guy who waxes his beamer and plays racquetball.
That's the one.
I think
And
that
knocks up Jane.
her husband left,
No.
didn't
What's
he?
Jane gonna do? She
I
can't
think
raise that baby by herself. She's only a woman.
I think that he left before her pregnancy was realized.
She talked about giving him another chance.
Yeah, well, maybe then.
Let's make this a Jane podcast.
A Jane cast.
Yeah. Talk about how gross she is for being pregnant. Gross, lady. Stop having sex.
Tressa.
Trust me, I've been pregnant. Pregnant people are disgusting.
I mean, your idea for us to have a Max Wright cast makes the most sense.
How fucking fun would that be? We'd get to watch all of Alf.
Honestly, I don't think I ever want to watch Alf again.
I don't either.
I don't understand, like, I didn't understand
the appeal.
I didn't understand the appeal even when I was a kid, and it was like a huge big deal that they were ramming down our throats. But now I have friends who are adults who they're a few years younger than I am, and they are Alf obsessed. And like always were and always have been, I guess.
Wow. I don't know what to say about that.
I don't know either. And these are like, these are smart, professional, like high achieving people.
They work as scientists in a lab doing every science thing.
All I'm saying is no to Alf, but yes to Max Wright.
Let's hire someone to cut all the Alf out of the Alf episodes and then watch them.
Who else was on that show? There was Alf, Gordon Shumway.
Of course. Who could forget? I have no idea who else.
Yeah, it's just Max Wright as far as I'm concerned.
What else was he in?
It's like you go back and it's like Meryl Streep, Robert De Niro, like all the heaviest of hitters. I don't remember them at all.
It's so weird. You would think I would, but they really sucked in that show. What else did he do? Okay. I thought there was some big secret awesome show that he did that I didn't know
probably. Yeah, it's called Misfits of Science. And even though he's barely in it, science straight from my heart.
He's barely in it, and yet it wouldn't be the same without him.
Yeah, they need him so badly.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's really unclear, like, why did the Misfits have to do any of this in this episode?
And even at the end, he's like, come on, how about a few more missions? And they're like, no, we're not doing any more missions. We have all these other investigations to do for some reason. No, that's not our job. We cannot go to Nice every other month solving crimes and being spies anymore. Stetmeyer. Why does Stetmeyer care either? Like, what's in it for him?
Didn't he want them to do their job for him?
Yeah, you would think. Is he getting paid off like a little on the side to get
He
spies?
seems to be the only person who might be at all invested in them as celebrities. Well, right? Like somehow them being celebrities is good for Humanityne. Or him or his department or something. I don't get it. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Science.
Exactly. Exactly.
Josh, that's all the time we have today.
That's it, guys. Thanks so much for joining us.